The bell is tolling. I'm Jonathan Coachman. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll get a look at Le'Veon Bell, fresh off a 100-yard performance a week ago, as it'll be the Carolina Panthers as they get set to match up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Carolina Panthers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, things haven't gone exactly according to plan to this point, but boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. A beautiful fake. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. Leading them out is the former first-rounder from all the way back in 2004 from Miami of Ohio, Ben Roethlisberger.
Now, the meeting we had with him this week, that's one of the briefer ones we've ever had, isn't it?
He wasn't too happy after last week.
Not happy. Really determined to play a whole lot better, and he really can't play a whole lot worse. He's got to go out and show the team that the goods that he exhibited early are still there. Otherwise, he could lose the confidence that they have in him.
And hoping to get rid of that interception bug. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
A big reason this team led the league in offense, their offensive line. Monster strength. 3 Pro Bowlers last year in Alejandro Villanueva, David DeCastro, and Marquise Pouncey. Kept their quarterbacks upright to throw it downfield and carved a lot of holes for their runners.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. K1 short. Never giving up. He's able to keep working and get him for a loss of 12.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. This is Bell on the dump off. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. So they wind up throwing it against your advice, but the result's still a 4th down.
Well, it did turn out to be a safe throw. And you know how sometimes coaches talk about using short passing game as a run? Essentially, that's what they did there. Now they can kick it away.
On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Fielded just inside the 30. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They're led out by their big-bodied electric quarterback, Cam Newton.
I think his task in this game is really simple. Eliminate the turnovers. He threw 2 interceptions last week. I can't believe I led with that because he had 3 touchdown passes.
Right.
So there's a lot of good that he did, but he's got to take care of the ball better. The ball has to go to guys wearing the jerseys that they're wearing this week, not the opposition.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. It's hauled in by Torrey Smith. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. A nice move he had, but can't break away. And he's brought down just inside the 30. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And this is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Newton to Olsen there for a Carolina 1st down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Now a carry. It's C.J. Anderson. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19. And here now the offense for Carolina.
And it was too bad that last season for Greg Olsen, their tight end, that a foot injury plagued him and limited him to 7 games played, broke his streak of 1,000-yard seasons. But he'll get back in form. One of the best route runners in the league, a combination of strength, guile, smarts, and a little dash of speed.
Newton now to throw. The veteran Morgan Burnett there on the coverage. We take a glance now at the starters on the defensive side of the ball for Pittsburgh. Well, they've been pretty much a mess against the pass, number 31 in the league.
Theories abound. People have opinions. But too often for this team this season, it's been the big play that's done them in.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Newton. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I know you've got a baseball background, right?
A little bit. Started minor league ball.
Yeah, you did some of that, right? What do they do when they do the signals? An indicator, right?
Whether it goes or not, yeah.
Yeah, whether the play's on or not. How about the indicators offensive linemen give when they're getting ready to run a screen pass? And if those get red, well, we just saw that there, didn't we?
No gain.
No gain. Deciphered it and finished the play off.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And a look at Bell, who remains down after that play. Appears to have gotten shaken up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to look deep down the field. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he powers his way up past the 30. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Back to the ground. This time it's Anderson. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
From the gun on third down, Newton. The open man is Smith. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. And 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. On first down, this is McCaffrey pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. Back deep for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. He finds an opening past the 40, and he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They go play action here on first down. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Julius Peppers in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Dontari Poe in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And McDonald here over the middle. And they'll get him down here at the 23. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Carolina. There's the stiff arm. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Throwing is Newton. Going up top. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Carolina. Torrey Smith, his first touchdown on the year. And the Panthers strike quickly here for 6 points. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Gano out to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. We focus our attention now on the quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help.
And they get to him with the pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. K1 Short in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. They control the clock, they control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires. On the first quarter of action. 10-zip our score. More from the Steel City coming up after this. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough third and long coming up. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. High throw, but he makes the catch. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for fourth.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in fourth and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Well, he's been the guy already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going to the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Throwing on third down, Newton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Brown with the stick skills. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game Probably something they need to do more of here, losing in the second quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. And connection number 1 there on the game, Roethlisberger to Boney Tony. Antonio Brown, that's what his high school teammates used to call him.
I wonder what they would call him now.
More muscular, more successful Boney Tony Brown, right?
I'd say you're probably right. It may be all of that. I'll still call him Boney Tony, but Ben Roethlisberger calls him my number 1 target.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They go play action now. Roethlisberger. Open man right side of Smith-Schuster, complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
Now it's counter. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And it's third and short.
It's never a bad idea to try and get it to Antonio Brown, but there must be a little bit of the Madden curse going on for our cover athlete here. Hasn't been able to get that elite separation that we're used to seeing from him.
The Steelers on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Roethlisberger will hand a counter. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
On every snap, a defense is trying to establish who they are, but on 3rd and short, that's really when you put it out there and tell people who you are, and that's exactly what they did. For the offense, they're looking at their offensive line and saying, guys, where are you? We need you on those plays.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 34. And it's a fake. He's going to throw it. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. Well, I see what they were trying to do there. You pop up your holder, roll him out. You got the option to run or pass. This didn't work.
Not at all, and the communication was excellent defensively to make sure that receivers were covered as they escaped from the line of scrimmage, because that's supposed to be a surprise to everyone, and that's how they get free. People forget their assignments on defense. That didn't happen. And think about the guy rolling out with the football, looking for an open person, no one there.
Helpless feeling.
Helpless, because that gap between you and defenders now is going to close, and close quickly.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
On second down, Anderson. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, And then the big finish with the tackle.
The Panthers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Newton. Got his target, Samuel. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still first down.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Following the penalty, Anderson. It's a 5-yard pickup, so essentially they get the penalty yardage back, and it's back to 2nd and 10.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. Airing it out deep for Smith. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Torrey Smith with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Panthers add on to their lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Gano now to add the extra point. Gano the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And Carolina scores to cap it off. Gano out to kick this one away. To return, it's Cam Sutton. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. We focus our attention now on the quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. A gain of 3, second down.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Roethlisberger. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. On the left side, it's McDonald. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Panthers have recovered.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Now onto the field, here come the Panthers. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Now Cam, option left. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. Looking for the tight end, Olsen, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Now let's discuss Antonio Brown as he heads back out there now. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? 2nd quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Connor. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. He hits White, complete, and out across midfield down to the 45. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
Those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
Newton now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. The shotgun snap for Newton. And Olsen over the middle. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now they go screen. It's complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. The Panthers on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7. Again, Newton. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
From the red zone now, Newton. Escaping, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Out of the gun, Newton. Forced out to his left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. A heck of an effort there on the scramble leaves him with just 3rd and a yard.
Oh, my Cam. There's times when I'm not analyzing up here. I'm just appreciating. Led NFL quarterbacks in rushing last year. He is truly the ultimate weapon at that position.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Operating from the gun, Newton. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. And Gano's kick is right through. And the lead now increases to 20-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Sutton now to return. So we come upon halftime intermission here with the visiting Panthers taking the lead to the locker room, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll get back with you shortly. But first, let's take a look at what's coming up this weekend around the NFL. Good matchups all up and down the schedule there. We'll highlight the one in Cincinnati. A big test coming up for the Bengals as they'll square off with the New Orleans Saints. Excellent games in the late afternoon window as well. One being out in Los Angeles, where it'll be the Rams taking on the Seattle Seahawks. And finally, Monday Night Football. It's the Chiefs and Rams from down in Mexico City. In our game, it was Cam Newton who led the way in that first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. A good pickup there, a 22.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Now Cam, option left, and he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. This one from 46 yards out. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will up the score now. It's 23-zip. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick. Right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Julius Peppers in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
You got 4. Ready? Black 20.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
When a linebacker's able to sit at the second level and see things develop in front of him, as soon as he got a hint that the quarterback was checking it down, he just made a beeline directly for the receiver and ended up making the play.
A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Another run, this time McCaffrey. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
It was funny during the draft process. Someone said to me, well, whoever takes Christian McCaffrey, as it turned out it was Carolina, how are they going to use him? Is he going to be an every down back? Is he going to be a 3rd down guy? They're going to use him in the slot? What are they going to do with him? And I just said, yes.
All of that.
No doubt about it. This kid can do it all.
And he did a nice job there out of the backfield to pick up the first. Now a run with McCaffrey. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know, all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Operating from the gun, Newton. And that is incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. They go play action with Roethlisberger. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Ross Cockrell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And the tight end Olsen, right side. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down.
Smiles, everyone, smiles, because when Cam Newton and Greg Olsen hook up like they've been doing throughout this game, that's one big reason why they're winning.
What makes Greg Olsen so tough to cover?
I think he really is a wide receiver in a tight end's body. He runs his routes with such great precision and some physical toughness, and he really fights and competes for the ball.
And then, of course, it helps to have Cam Newton throwing it to you. This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. Now Cam, option left. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. He'll get 9 yards on the keeper there, but it's still going to leave him with a 3rd and 1.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Got a man right side. It's McCaffrey. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
Back now in Pittsburgh. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Newton. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a 1st down. Newton finding Funchess for the Panther 1st down. Newton will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. Pretty move. And now running right through it. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps for these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
Three red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. From the gun, Newton. And that is caught at the back judge right there to say incomplete. Torrey Smith, the intended receiver. And it's second down. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option of running play action, maybe throwing it.
Here's Newton. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on third and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
Now Newton on third and goal. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man, coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be fourth down. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
So out comes the field goal team once more. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will make the lead now 26. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. Sutton now to return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to tackle. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked by Kevon Seymour. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Now we get a look at Torrey Smith as he comes back out onto the field. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. You never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
To throw on second down. Newton. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. This is McCaffrey on the give. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Right, didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now Graham Gano to try the Panther field goal. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will push the lead up from 26, and it grows up to 29. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people would think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And put a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Roethlisberger. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Mike Adams. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down and 6.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And Gano's kick is right through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by, but that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed him out quite a bit so far, but it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
Sutton now to return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Panthers defense gearing up as they take the field. That interception the last go-around when they were out there, 4 turnovers now for this unit. Pretty impressive.
And how happy are they to actually run back on the field? Most of the time, defenses want to get off the field, but when you picked off 4 passes,
they want to stay out.
They want to stay out there and not just pad their stats, but really give themselves a game to remember and a game to play off of the rest of the season.
And they'll be looking for turnover number 5 now. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Tackle made by K1 Short. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
A good pickup there, a 22.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Again, it's Roethlisberger. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. A gain of 7 that time, second goal. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
From the 2 now, second and goal.
Tight right. Set. 180. Back and front.
They'll try to run it. This is Connor. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that is going to set up third and goal.
Set. Like 80. Right there.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. In for the score. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Boswell good with the extra point, and that will cut this lead down to 25. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And it looks like the Panthers' hands team does its job. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
McCaffrey. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns them a fresh set of downs.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they've wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
Hey, we got 3%. 180. Yeah.
They run again on first down. Anderson. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Set. 180. Set.
Here's McCaffrey. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Newton's going to throw it. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
3 down. Set. 180. Set.
Handoff comes to Anderson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys who's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Carolina...